Repetitions versus heavy weights. If you're into weightlifting, you've likely pondered deeply over the significant differences between these two approaches. After all, they're the only two levers you can really pull in your training, whether you're aiming to pack on muscle mass or carve out the chiseled definition. Welcome to the Healthy Fit Guide. Today, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of choosing between pumping out numerous repetitions or piling on those heavy weights. We'll unravel the mysteries of how your body responds to these stimuli, guide you towards the most effective strategies for your goals, and debunk some of those pesky myths that float around the internet. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid grip on how to optimize your workouts and strive for your ultimate self-improvement. So, stick around till the end, because this video is packed with great news for those who are always pushing for progress. Before we dive in, don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really goes a long way in supporting us. Also, make sure to check out the video description, where I've dropped a nugget of wisdom on how to blend both approaches to supercharge your strength gains and ramp up your reps game. Now, let's roll up our sleeves and delve into the fascinating realm of muscle evolution, or as we know it, hypertrophy. There are two primary flavors. First off, we have the classic muscle fiber growth, known as sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This little gem often shows up within those initial weeks of training and is largely fueled by an uptick in energy reserves within your muscle fibers. The body's smart enough to understand that this extra fuel is essential to nail those workout routines with enhanced finesse. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is tightly linked to an increase in muscle glycogen, the prime energy source for your workouts. This makes nutrition a critical player in the game. Think of quality carbs, like whole grain bread, as your fuel buddies here. However, if you're gunning for muscle definition and shedding that excess fat, you'll need to tread carefully to avoid overindulging in carbs. Another neat tidbit is that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy favors more repetitions over heaving heavy weights. Why, you ask? Well, cranking out more reps burns up more energy and ignites that fiery sensation within your muscles. This sparks a signal for your body to channel extra resources to the muscles that have been hard at work, giving them the boost they need. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean the same magic doesn't happen when you're slinging heavy weights around. It's just a different flavor of the same goodness. Summing up, the repetition game delivers quicker results that'll keep your motivation blazing. But don't put all your eggs in that basket. Solely focusing on reps is like a one-way ticket to the land of shrunk gains. Once the stimulus party's over, your body thinks it's time to tighten the belt on that extra energy, leading to a bit of a muscle downgrade. Now, let's flip the coin and explore the other side, myofibrillar hypertrophy, where the focus isn't on bulking up muscle mass, but on creating fresh muscle fibers. To grasp this, let's take a peek into your body's thought process during those intense training sessions. Imagine you're squatting with 242 pounds, your muscles realize they're in dire need of some dedicated workers to pull off this feat. These hard-working employees are your muscle fibers. If you're able to bang out those squats like there's no tomorrow with those 242 pounds, your muscle fibers are going to raise their hands and shout, "We need more fuel and energy next time." This spectacle kickstarts sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, our first flavor. But what if you jack up the weight to 264 or 308 pounds, and suddenly, you can't rack up the same reps anymore? What's the deal with that? Well, your body doesn't just want to throw more grub at the existing workforce, it wants to bring in fresh talent. That's right, it's in the market for new muscle fibers, and that's when myofibrillar hypertrophy comes into play. When you're consistently chasing after heavier weights, you're basically sending a memo to your body to start a higher more muscle fibers campaign. This yields denser muscle gains, but it's a slow burn, and it tends to stir up some joint and shoulder discomfort for those who tend to go a bit too hard on the heavy stuff. This happens because, compared to focusing on reps, heaving those heavy weights can be a bit more of a bully. In a nutshell, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is like a quick-witted adaptation. It happens because your body realizes it needs to step up its game and summon extra energy for a specific task. But once the music stops, it's back to square one, and you might feel like your muscle gains have taken a nosedive. Switching gears to myofibrillar hypertrophy, the one triggered by a steady climb in weights, it's more of an evolution. Your body acknowledges that your current muscle fiber squad isn't cutting it, and it kicks off the muscle building project. These gains stick around longer, but they come at a slower pace and demand a careful dance to avoid injuries. Now, let's tackle the burning question: how do you tweak your game plan to optimize those gains? The answer isn't as tricky as it seems. It's straightforward, but not exactly obvious. If you're gunning for that muscle definition and you've been told that obsessing over endless reps is the golden path, hold your horses. It's not quite that cut and dried. Here's the deal: regardless of how many reps you're grinding out, the calorie bonfire in a weightlifting session isn't exactly setting the world on fire. True muscle definition is about bidding farewell to body fat, giving your muscles the chance to strut their stuff. This is where the muscle fiber power play enters the scene. It's not just about pumping out reps, but also about cultivating those muscle fibers. Why, you ask? Because the more muscle you've got, the more calories your body burns just to keep the lights on. Tweak your nutrition to match, and voila, long-term muscle definition is on the horizon. Does this mean you should give your full attention to the weight stack? Not so fast. Those numerous reps hold a special key for those aiming to chisel their muscles. They refine your motor skills, ensure a steady calorie burn, even if it's not exactly sending temperatures soaring, and cut down on that post-workout groaning. It's all about maintaining a rhythm that your body can groove to, and that rhythm is consistency. So, if muscle definition is your endgame, it's time to give those reps the spotlight, but not exclusively. Save the grand finale for the weight increase. Here's a little tip: for the last set of each exercise in your routine, slash those reps by 50% and swap in 50% more weight. For instance, if you're crushing 10 reps of biceps curls with 128.5 pounds, for the grand finale, drop down to 5 reps, but bump that weight up to 193.5 pounds. And remember, quality movement is your North Star. But what if you're all about packing on muscle mass and strength? Well, the same rules apply. Don't fall into the more weight all the time trap, that road's littered with potholes of potential injuries. Instead, start with the spotlight on repetitions. It's like giving your muscles a power boost, schooling them on those moves, and setting the stage for quality reps. Then, gently start dialing down the reps while amping up the weights. Stick to this game plan for about a month, flexing those muscles through 4 to 5 weekly sessions. When you hit that sweet spot of struggling between 4 and 5 reps, hold that weight steady until you've got the reins on it and can punch through those reps with ease. Once you find yourself grinding at the 8 to 10 rep range, go back to the drawing board and tweak that weight once more. Slow and steady wins the race, and pay attention to your resting game. Remember, muscle growth and those fresh fibers are crafted during rest. So, when it's time to hit the hay, embrace some quality shut-eye, give your body the rest it deserves, and feed it well. It's non-negotiable. And that brings us to the grand finale, my personal golden nugget that's been my secret weapon in achieving my desired results. If you're in the same boat as me, aiming for a body that's both ripped and robust, buckle up for the 100% 50-50-100% method. Here's the drill for each exercise in your arsenal. Kick things off with a strong 10 reps using a specific weight, let's say the leg extension machine with 194.7 pounds. Then, hit the second and third sets with 50% of the reps, but with a meteor 50% increase in weight. So, you're looking at 5 reps with a solid 264 pounds. And for the grand finale, loop back to the starting weight of 194.7 pounds and crank out those final 10 reps. With that, we wrap up our powerhouse video for today. Just to drive the point home, both forms of hypertrophy are running their shows simultaneously. It's all about giving a bit more love to one or the other, but they're both part of the equation. The true MVP here is consistency. So, stay patient with yourself, honor the temple that is your body, and keep pushing forward. Regardless of your aspirations or athletic endeavors, remember this: greatness takes time and discipline. If you found this content as intriguing as I did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. A massive shout out for tuning in, and until next time, stay strong and keep chasing those dreams.